Hello, and welcome everybody. This is the special end of year Nojo Experience show. I'm Noah, your host. Cheers, welcome along. We're going to have a good night. My co-host is Johan here. How you doing, brother?
Cheers, guys. Oh, bloody good, mate. Coming to the end of the year, it's summer here in New Zealand, and I don't know, it's nice and warm. Everyone's out at the beaches, and it's just a good time of year. A couple of weeks off work. I think it's probably the best time of year, so you won't get any complaints from me. How about yourself?
Nah, man, it's absolutely some. It is great. I don't know how the rest of the world does. Christmas over winter. That just sounds like a bad idea to me. Get out, get involved with it, go to the beach. All good things. Yeah, no, who wants to be tucked up inside at a time like this and have early darkness? Nah, I think we have the
Yeah,
right way here. Is the right way to do Christmas actually with summer and
yeah.
sunshine.
No, don't have to get a snow shovel to get out to your car. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Although to be fair, I don't know about where you are, but like the weather has been like absolutely everything lately. Like 2 days ago, it was so hot I couldn't sleep at night. Woke up sweating, and then today it's like rain and like blizzardy, and I'm wearing a jacket and stuff inside, and it's just like an
Yep.
absolute mix of everything. So I don't know what the weather's doing. You should really pick a lane, but it has not been doing it so far.
We had it on Christmas Eve. We we thought we do the family thing, go see the Christmas carols getting sung out at the church steps, the cathedral in town. It was
Yeah, yeah.
literally bucketing
Hey,
down torrential rain. Everyone was packed inside the church. We went and had a bit of a look, and I didn't dress for it. I was soaked. I ended up having to go home and get a spare change of clothes, but we did get into the church for a bit, and my younger brother had a bit of a go at singing Silent Night at the top of his lungs, and then we left.
old
But
Liam,
it
he's
was a bit
got
of a
such a
Christmas.
deep like that boy has such a booming voice as well. So there's no
Yeah,
way it's going to be silent at all for the Silent Night, which is
and he
which
knows
is
it, and he's proud of it.
interesting.
I think he thinks he's
Yes,
better at
absolutely.
singing than he is.
That's always awkward. Like I'm not a good singer, but I'm aware that I'm not a good singer, so I always sing just like under everybody else, so it doesn't shine through. But some people just nah, they're convinced like no, I know what's up. Let's go.
Yeah, people are being way too dishonest with them when they've heard them sing. It's like the classic. Was it Simon Cowell when one of the singing tournaments he was judging, and he stopped it, gave the red buzzer, and he goes, "Mate, you're no good." And he looked all shocked. The contestant looked all shocked, and he goes, Simon said, "Who told you could sing?" He goes, "Well, my family." He goes, "They're lying to you, mate. You're no good." And I was just like this guy was like first he heard of it, eh? Like he thought he was good. But
Y there is something to that, I think, like, if you don't have talent in an area, yeah, those closest to you and love you, should probably tell you. That
yeah,
being said, if any of my family says that I'm no good at doing a podcast, I'm not gonna listen to them.
nah,
It's
you
like,
pick
no,
and choose.
I'm gonna get better, I'm gonna get better. This is gonna be
Yeah,
huge. You guys are gonna regret this.
yeah. You have nothing to do
Yeah.
with my
So anyway,
millions.
yeah, your Christmas was good, yeah, though.
Christmas was good. Yep, split between my partner's family and mine. We even had
No,
some
nice.
bit of a Christmas tournament where we had the old egg and spoon race and sack race, and had to have a shot of Bailey's and smash back one of
Oh,
those little mini meringues, and
nice.
yeah, so a whole big tournament thing, all timed, and yeah, it was quite good. Mrs.
Oh, man.
organised all that, but yeah, no, that was bloody good and plenty of food. Yeah, we
Yeah,
had
yeah.
like Christmas lunch, Christmas dinner, Christmas breakfast, and
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, it is my favorite time of the year for, like, all diets. Just no, go out the window. Like,
yeah,
I don't wanna hear you. I'm just going to eat to excess, no
yeah.
matter what. It this what this time of the year is for,
Does he
really.
though? You almost need a nap in the afternoon.
Yeah. I like that also, Christmas Day, like, I think this is like a dad's rite of passage, and I'm gonna to claim this, Although to be fair, I didn't have it this year, so that's a knock to the family. But I think as a dad, you should be allowed like from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. a nap. Like it should just be one of the things you're allowed to do. Like just wander
Yep.
off. Kids can play outside. You can go have a good nap. I think you've earned it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, so that one day a year.
Yeah, just one. Just give me this, guys. Nah, my Christmas was great. Similarly, kind of had breakfast at home, and then kind of the rest of the day was split between the grandparents for the kids. So that was good fun. I did get what was these are actually really cool. It's like a Nerf gun, but it's actually a bow and arrow, um, and
That's cool.
they're really cool. And I got them for my kids, of course, but I may have confiscated them a couple of times during the days just so I could have a good play with them. Um, so that was fun. And so, like Christmas kind of evening after dinner, I took the kids down to a school park close to where we were, and we're like firing them off. And one of my nephews also got one of these, and he shoots a dart up onto the roof of the school, and I'm like, oh, and so me and his dad are like looking around, it's like we can probably work out how to get up here, and so like this is after dinner as well, so a full day of eating, and so I'm like sketchily trying to climb this tree with like absolutely full of food, like not feeling it at all, and
Not as
but I managed to
athletic as
pop
you
up
were
this.
10 years ago.
Oh, yeah, and it's also just the worst time for it. But anyway, I managed to scale this tree over the branch onto this roof, walk across the roof on this school, get the arrow, chuck it down. I turn around and chuck it down to the kid, and he's there lining me up, like deadpan look on his face, and he's just staring at me and lining me up with another one. And I'm like, yeah, if you shoot that up at me right now, mate, it's staying up here. I might not, but it's definitely well. I was like,
Like,
absolute turd.
you gotta make and regret his decision. Kids need to learn from their mistakes. Even if they
Yeah, yeah,
don't know their mistakes yet, they need to know.
yeah,
I think you
yeah,
did well to get up
absolutely.
on the roof. I was wondering where that story was going for a second. I was just, oh no, climb up, the branch broke, you broke your arm on
Yeah.
the way down.
Oh, bro, and like coming down was even worse because like there was like this branch, and I kind of had to put my foot into this branch, and there's all these leaves, so I couldn't even see where I'm putting my foot. It's just stretching out, and I'm just kind of leaning out in faith, like I know there's something there for me to put my foot against. But I managed to make my way down, and I did notice that there's security cameras around on the school, so I'm probably on some police report something where for trying to break into a school or something
The,
ridiculous like that. But
yeah, I was going to say, if anything happens, like there's a robbery or a break-in, you're going to be on the footage. But I'm
yeah.
surely process of elimination, they'll be able to work out it wasn't on the same day, unless it
Mm.
did get robbed on the same night. Then you
Yeah,
might be an accessory to a theft.
yeah. I don't know how many thefts go on Christmas. I'd hope to think. Um, Actually, that reminds me of I heard one day, and this guy said, "Oh, his mother always liked to point out that Mother's Day is the day of the year that has the lowest amount of robberies in the world, and because everybody's at home with their mum." And he's like, I don't think she's saying the message that what she thinks she is, because really I know that the mothers are too busy with their families that they can't go out and commit all the robberies. It's really the mothers that are committing the robberies, and that's the downside of this conspiracy.
Here we go. This is
That's
the evidence that I don't want getting out.
To be fair, I never would have suspected that twist. It's always the last person you expect.
That's right, exactly. And if they've never been caught, no one's ever going to know.
Well, yeah, exactly. Where is the incentive there, eh? To
The perfect crime for
you know,
some of these low-income mothers,
perfect.
that might not be able to provide for their families, and they might end up stealing a few things, and who's going to suspect a nice lovely mother with 3 or 4 kids at home. She's just doing the best she can. She's not stealing Cheerios and
Yeah,
Yui
that's the one.
booms, but probably now.
Yeah, yeah. Robbering, yeah, yeah, thieving the neighborhood. I can't even get my words out. Stealing from the
Thieving,
neighborhood to support
robbering.
their Yeah, to support their iced coffee addiction is what it would be.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like the modern day Robin Hood. It's just low income mothers stealing from the rich to give to their children.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, you couldn't hate on a mother stealing from the rich to feed her children. There we go.
Yeah.
There's one thief that's going to get my sympathy. That one's going to get me every day.
And you know
Yeah.
the mums that aren't robbing, and the mums that aren't robbering, the mums that aren't thieving, are the ones with the shitbag kids because they're not going to be getting any gifts. You know, they're not going to steal for their kids if they're shitbags.
Oh yeah. Exactly.
Mm.
Okay. Here's a question for you. What's the worst thing your mother ever did? Yeah. Were you willing to say that publicly or throw her under the bus
Worst
like
thing my
that?
mother ever did. Oh, she was pretty good. Oh, worst thing mother ever
Yeah.
did. Oh, maybe
To be
maybe
fair, your
be
mother's pretty
late
wonderful.
late. She's pretty good. Probably maybe late to pick us up from school, or I'll forget to pick us up from
All right.
school
Yeah.
because we'd go between um,
Yeah. That's probably. I
carpooling with our
believe that. It's
neighbour
probably the worst
to
thing your mother has ever done.
yeah, because we go between
Hey.
carpooling with our neighbour. We'd go between carpooling with our
Yeah.
neighbour's parents, and mum
Hmm.
picking us up, and obviously communication. And someone thought
Oh, I
someone
got
was
a mix
getting
up,
yeah,
and she forgot.
yeah. That's my version of events. I mean, I was younger, so
That's kind of
yeah,
hilarious.
yeah.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
cell phone though. I had to find a
Oh, I don't know what
landline,
my
go
mother.
back into the school.
Oh, landline back in the day. Yeah, yeah. That is funny as well. Like there was a story come out and they're like talking about confiscating cell phones from kids during school,
Mm,
and apparently there's an uproar from parents like, "Oh no, you can't do that. What if we need to contact our kids?" And it's like
mm.
this, like just just put the phones at the front of the class in a box with the teacher. If you really need to, ring 3 times. The teacher will answer. It's like
Yeah.
I don't see why this is a problem that we can't fix here. I thought that was
Oh, you can
hilarious.
make anything a problem.
Oh yes, yes they can, absolutely. No, I was going to say, what's worst thing my mother did? Uh, I think I heard her call somebody a bitch once, like in my entire life. Yeah, I felt bad. I feel bad even throwing her under the bus for that one, and I could be
Yeah,
misremembering. Um,
yeah.
so sorry, mum,
But it,
if I have spread mum misinformation there. Um,
but if that's the worst thing you can think over your
yeah,
whole childhood, that's pretty good, really, isn't it?
it's pretty good. Yeah, you know.
Like I never heard my parents swear. I think I heard my mum swear in the weekend. I was helping them, um, put some beds in one of their rental properties, and
Mm,
it was one of those springy fold up temporary bed bases, and it
mm.
closed up on her and pinched her skin, and I
Oof.
heard her say the F word, and it's yeah, but it was kind
Oh,
of it was kind of like she didn't wanna say it. She started saying it and cut it off halfway, so it was like like, kinda like
oh, she muffled
so
herself. Oh, wow, that's some
but
self control there. That's pretty impressive.
it basically sounded like someone saying the F word, but stuttering at the same time because she was trying to stop herself halfway through, so yeah,
Mm.
doing
I
pretty
can
good,
I
I think.
can vividly remember the first time I heard my nana swear, and like my late nana, she's passed now. But, absolute wonderful woman, salt of the earth, never said a bad word about anyone, and I can vividly remember she's talking to someone and drops a bullshit in there, and I was like, "What is this?" You know? I like, the
Because
I didn't even know that she knew that word. Like, it just
there's
absolutely
probably a lot
rocked
of
my
parents
world.
there's probably a lot of parents and like your grandmother and our parents that probably did swear, but they never swore around their children. I mean,
Mm,
it's like any parents of today, they'll swear, but you know, not in front of the kids. And yeah,
yeah.
so the
You
kids
try
get this
pretty.
like false sense of security that their parents are perfect and don't swear at all. but it's just
That
hidden
is
from
that is a
children
good
to
point.
use.
Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we're doing a disservice, and we should actually just swear in front of them all the time, so they know that nobody's perfect. I don't know if that's the answer, but it's one way to roll anyway.
It is. Some parents do.
So anyway, we'll get on with the show now that we're 15 minutes in and got through the introduction and Christmas. I'm glad it is. I hope everybody has a fantastic New Year's and roll on 2024. Hope that the madness of the last few years has is kind of finished up and we have a slightly more normal 2024. I don't think anybody has had a normal last 3 years. It's just been
Yeah.
madness for the whole world, it feels like.
Let COVID's kind of settled off. Let's hope all these wars going on kind of settle down as well, and we can get
Yes.
back to a nice peaceful planet. What we
Yeah,
all
yeah.
want.
I think everybody's hoping and praying for that. At least something a bit more usual. I did think it would be fun to go through. So like we've covered a few just fun conspiracy theories just for laughs and giggles. And I thought it'd be fun to go through. So I didn't quite get. I was trying to get the top 10 kind of fun conspiracy theories that came out of 2023. I didn't quite get it. But I did get a few things. So I thought would go with this one here. Just some. So these we shared on excuse me, just on a page on mine that shares kind of conspiracy theories. And this one here, so this one just seems funny because it's from obviously what is it? Oh
Scrooge
gosh,
McDuck.
I'm mind blanking. That's Scrooge McDuck. So it's an old like early 90s cartoon, and somebody's just highlighted that like way back in the early 90s. And if you read that, what looks like it's meant to be like an eyesight chart, and it says ask about the Illuminati. So it's like that's are they behind Duckwing Duck? Were they, is that how he got his millions? Like, because you used to see him, he used to dive into that pile of the fortune of gold coins. Like he
Very
accrued
unrealistic.
it from the
Imagine the
Illuminati.
injuries of
Who
dying into
knows?
gold coins.
I do. There was that Family Guy did that, like where they they had Peter like dive into a mountain of gold coins, and he just breaks every bone in his body and like is mutilated at the bottom, like just like so good. It's like yeah, that's what would happen. Okay, so that was a funny one. I did like this one here. Okay, so this one now we're going into like actual conspiracy theories, but also making a good point here. I love that the mainstream media position is yes, the CIA did bad things in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s, but nobody was ever prosecuted and there were no reforms. So now you don't do bad things today. You conspiracy. Oh, now they don't do bad things today. You conspiracy theorist. And it's like, I mean, that is a good point. Like we are talking about the CIA, who have done some pretty sketchy shit in the past. So should we trust them blindly? I would say absolutely not. Given their track record and that nobody is really ever held to account, I don't think we should probably trust them too much.
Or have they just got more sneaky and better at going undetected with technology?
Yes, yeah, I'd say that. Like that's even the meme. Like you're what they normally say FBI, but FBI or CIA officer, watching you on, watching your computer and what you do.
Yeah, and one big thing about conspiracy theories, it's only a conspiracy theory until it has been proven to be true.
Well, this is absolutely true. The funny thing about this is, okay, so I did actually, oh, I saw this, well, no, I saw somebody was interviewed somebody from the CIA recently, and they were saying, like, oh yeah, they can't spy on like people in their own country, like they're meant to, it's external threats outside the country. That's what they use. But what they do is like, if you are a CIA or, agent or whatever, I don't really know how it works, but if you want to get information about, say, your girlfriend, you want to know what she's up to. He goes, you can't look into it. That would be illegal, and you get into trouble. However, you can go to like a counterpart that you work with in France, and you can say, "Hey, can you check in on my girlfriend?" Well, that's not in France. That guy's in France. He can look into people in the US. That's no problem. and so they just share information that way. So like, there's ways around it, and it's like that's not illegal. They can't get into trouble for that, but it's like still the same thing.
There's a
So
loophole. There's always a
so
loophole.
yes, to your point, yeah. This one here just made me laugh. So, United States of America threatens to withhold aid to Niger due to the military takeover coup d'etat. Niger military says they should keep their aid and give it to the millions of homeless people in the United States of America. Charity begins at home. I'm not really a fan of coups, but I think the man just owned Joe Biden there. I think that was a great, a great call.
And he's not going to be able to back it up, as he have you heard the man talk? I'm not going to start on it, but we all know.
That is a good, yes, that is
I can't
absolutely
see him
right.
winning any debates.
No, absolutely not. But yeah, I think that's a good. Keep your aid at home. You help your homeless people. Yeah, like absolute own there. Okay, so this one was just also a little bit funny because okay, so they had I think it was in Ohio in the US. They had that big chemical spill. So this is going back about 10 months ago. So what was that be? Yeah, January, February, so February, March, 2023. They had this big chemical spill. And it's just saying, not one of these people have said about it. So we've got Joe Biden, we've got John. Oh, I forget that guy's name. He's like a big climate dude. Bill Gates and Greta Thunberg. Actually, to be fair, I think Greta did, but was like, it's like these are all really harmful toxins spilled into the environment, and these people didn't seem to care about it. And it's like, well, you probably should if you care about the economy, and but no, it's all right. It's all right. Hop into your private jets and fly off and tell us all how we're bad for driving to work every day.
Yeah, it's
So
interesting, eh?
that one also made me laugh a little bit. Okay, this one's from Elon Musk. Now he has got a lot of hate over the last year. A lot of hate. I'm not saying it's all undeserved, but I thought he made a pretty good point with this one. So almost no one seems to realize that the head of bioethics at NIH, which is the National Institute of Health in America, the person who was supposed to make sure that Fauci behaved ethically, is his wife. It's like that might seem like somewhat of a conflict of interest there.
Yeah.
On the other hand, it could go the other way. Would you really want your missus looking over your shoulder, making sure you're doing your job safely every day? I kind of think that would be
No.
worse. To be fair,
Yeah.
I'm not keen on that one. Like, no, that's all right.
Oh,
Just trust
if you're
me.
not getting along with her, she's going to pick on you.
Yeah,
What
exactly.
happens if you forgot to take the rubbish out on Sunday night and
Yeah, you
she's all
forgot to
shitty
take the
about
rubbish
it?
out, and next thing you're getting audited like 5 times a year. It's oh my gosh.
Keep your personal life and work life separate.
Yeah, so maybe Elon Musk is like dead wrong on this. It's like maybe this is the perfect person to have, be the head of bioethics at NIH. Who knows? Who knows?
Definitely a conflict.
Okay, this one also made me laugh. Okay, so this is from Jimmy Kimmel, who says, Jimmy Kimmel claims Aaron Rodgers is a tin-foil hatter for wanting to know the names on the Jeffrey Epstein client list. So Aaron Rodgers, we don't really know him here, but he's a big time footballer over in the US, like one of the main guys. And and then somebody quoted him and said, "Tell me you're on the Jeffrey Epstein client list without telling me you're on the Jeffrey Epstein client list." It's like, yeah, if you're a celebrity and you're trying to come up with reasons why the Jeffrey Epstein client list shouldn't be released, I would probably hurry up and shut up. Like,
Yeah.
this is not the battle you want to fight, my man.
No, just don't comment.
Yeah, no comment. It's like we're going to assume you're guilty until you can prove you're not at this point. Okay. Oh, there are some dark conspiracies coming out about AI, about Chat GPT, and all these AIs. And there's some biases. So there was an interesting story that just broke recently, and it's like some of the biases that are built into AI. So you can ask it questions, and so this is ones that just people have come up with in conversations. It's like, can you make a joke that involves Jesus? Why did Jesus refuse to play ice hockey? Because he kept getting nailed to the boards. I don't really play ice hockey, so I'm not sure I understand the joke. But okay, fair enough. Whatever.
Maybe a few
That was
people
funny.
get
Can you
offended
make?
by that.
Yeah, yeah. That was funny. Can you make the joke about Muhammad? As an AI language model, I have to follow guidelines that prevent me from creating content that could be offensive or disrespectful towards religious figures, including Prophet Muhammad. I'm happy to help you with any other non-religious jokes or any other topic you'd like to discuss.
Oh, so it's
What?
okay to pick on Jesus, but Muhammad's
Yeah, yeah.
like taboo.
Jesus, totally fine. Yeah, we can mock him any day. No, that would be inappropriate. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Okay, if
we can
that's
see
the
who
rules
they
you
don't
want
want to
to
piss off.
yeah, yeah. We can see what you want to do. It's like,
The
oh wow.
Christians are a safe bet. You can give them shit.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, they're the ones that there is the joke. There is a joke. Something I think it's a quote from I can't remember who it was famous, and it's like, oh, if you want to know who really has power, in a nation, who look at to who you cannot make fun of.
Mm.
Um, and somebody quoted him as like, we really need to rise up against the oppression by children with leukemia. Because obviously, you can't make fun of children
Yeah,
with leukemia.
no,
So
no.
they must be holding all the power in the world.
There's a big group of disabled and diseased children that I'm sure you don't feel comfortable making fun of.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's probably not a joke subject I would approach, apart from quoting that one, which I thought was just made a funny joke.
There's some comedians that do it. It's interesting comedians that get into, you know, making jokes on disabled people, religion. Like, it's just like, man, you think they'd need some lawyers or whatnot, but some of them seem to have
Yeah,
free
I
reign.
I have some respect. Yeah, I have some respect. Like yeah, obviously there's some jokes that I'm like, you shouldn't joke about that really. But I do have some respect for people who will tell the offensive joke and do it well. I think is it Jimmy Carr? Um,
Yeah,
I think
Jimmy
you said
Carr's
it
done a
when you saw
few.
it. He is
He
brilliant.
done the one about AIDS in
Yeah,
Africa.
yeah, yeah. The Brits seem to do it pretty well, but I think that just their style, because they kind of tend to be they come
Ricky
across a bit more
Gervais.
smooth and polished. Yeah, and so you
Oh
don't.
yeah,
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 Ricky
yeah.
Gervais. There we go. You know, um, yeah, they do it well. You have to give them credit. They do it well. Um, and Dave Chappelle, and like he's on the American, but taking a lot of heat. But I even I don't say I like all of Dave Chappelle's jokes because I really don't. I think some of them I'm not a fan of, but the man is hilarious and he does make some
Yeah,
really
he's good.
good, great. He makes some great points across jokes, and I think he should be allowed to say, make jokes about what he finds funny. So
Yeah. No, I
yeah,
think I think they should kind of what do you call? They should be kind of immune to scrutiny by, everything can kind of be made fun of. And to a
mm,
certain extent.
yeah. Well, Chris Rock, mate, I've heard a couple of men, but Chris Rock made a great point, and he's like, you don't need to censor comedians because, like, if people don't like their jokes, they won't listen to them, and it's like, well, yeah, that makes sense. Like,
It's a
so,
nice theory, but it doesn't happen because you've still got all
well,
those critics and people that write bad
oh, well, yeah,
reviews that
yeah, I know, but
obviously
that's
listen to them.
people
But yeah,
like saying you don't like their joke, and it's like, okay, but if their joke was really that bad, like people wouldn't listen to them. That's the thing.
yeah,
So it's like, you know, if they have a crowd, and yeah, I don't know, maybe there's a point to it, but I think trying to stop them is worse than just like, yeah, just let the audience decide. If the audience decides it's no good, they're all going to walk out, and that guy's not going to have anybody to talk to. So
that's right.
yeah,
Yeah. They're not gonna be selling tickets if they're bad. They've
yeah,
got sellout
exactly.
shows.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, but we will come back to Chris Rock in a minute because we do have another story that is hilarious and indirectly relates to him. Um, but yeah, no, we've got a couple of things we'll go to. I just thought we had to go through some conspiracy theories,
Oh,
which I
yeah.
think would be fun.
Always gets people
Always a good
talking.
time. Always a good time. So we have a story here. Now, if I can share this one here, let's see if that'll let me. No, that's the one we just been to. Here we go. Okay, so this one is a story comes from the Associated Press. Passenger hid bullets in a baby diaper at New York's LaGuardia Airport. TSA officers caught him. Okay, so
Ridiculous.
it was a loaded diaper, but not like you would think. Security officers found 17 bullets concealed inside a disposable baby diaper Wednesday at New York's LaGuardia Airport, the Transport Security Administration said. Officers pulled the otherwise clean diaper from the passenger's carry-on after it triggered an alarm on the X-ray. Well, I'm glad the X-ray alarm machine worked at airport security checkpoint, TSA said. According to the agency, the passenger initially claimed he didn't know how the bullets filled that is also hilarious. It's like,
Biggest
just
load of
standard things
bullshit.
that
No
you
pun
have in your
intended, I
carry-on.
could say.
Yeah, yeah. Like, as a dad, I wouldn't walk anywhere with a diaper if I didn't know about it. It's like, that's pretty hard for that to happen. But later he suggested so the man threw his girlfriend under the bus. Yeah, there we go. It must have been the girlfriend who put a nappy full of bullets, like just standard girlfriend things. Um,
Think you do get some
the
crazy ones
TSA
out there. I'll
identified
give them
the
that.
passenger. Okay, so ticketed for a flight to Chicago, but did not disclose his name. Port Authority police cited him for unlawful possession of 9mm and ammunition. The funny thing about this is, like, okay, you went to this effort to like smuggle bullets aboard a plane. It's like they don't mention a gun, so I'm going to assume there's no gun there. It's like, okay, so what was your plan here, mate? Like, you got you got to the airport, you got on the plane, and you have some bullets like that are no good to you without the gun. It's like, what do you think the man
Well,
was trying to do here?
I don't think he was trying to do anything. I think he's pissed his missus off, and she's trying to set him up. So she's put the
Oh,
bullets in the diaper in his bag, hoping he'd get caught at the airport just to set him up because he's done something to piss her
oh
off,
wow.
and this
So
is
you
her
do
way of
think it's
retaliating. That's my theory. He's
you do
pissed
think
her
it's a
off.
girl? Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I
an
reckon. I,
interesting one.
I reckon he's innocent. And yeah, I reckon because like you said, there's no gun, there's no plan. Um, yeah, and yeah, I reckon she's wrapped them up, wrapped the bullets up, and she's like, he'll get caught, he'll get in the shit, and she'll be at home laughing, watching the news.
That is that's an interesting one. I never saw
There's
that
some
twist
crazy
coming.
women out there, or I won't say women. There's some crazy people out there, and a lot
Yeah,
of them have partners, and don't want to piss them off.
no.
Because Americans take border security very seriously, and she would have known that. But yeah, wouldn't be hard to get hold of ammunition in the states, and it'd be probably, I'd say, easier to get hold of a nappy. It's probably easier to get hold of bullets in the states, but
Yeah.
two very easy products. Chuck them in his bag, and yeah, see you later. You never know. Like, he might end up doing time for it, and she'll be away laughing, finding a new partner, and
I think a
see,
breakup is just
this could be a
easiest in
conspiracy.
that situation. It's like you don't really need to throw a nappy full of throw a bullets in my carry on. Just
We don't know
tell
what
me it's
he's
over.
done.
Mm.
He
Yeah, I don't
might
know.
have
I just
cheated on
assumed this was
her,
like a mad
he
American.
might
It's
have.
like, I can't fly on my flight without my bullets. Like, this is the country of freedom. I need to be free to fly with my bullets, and
Could be.
just like by any means. And it's like, yeah, but you might, if you were going to go there, you'd want your gun with you too. Maybe no. Okay, all right now.
Or maybe he had some special James Bond pen gun that they weren't able to recover, and he was able to chuck the
James,
bullets in that, and you know, James Bond
that
used to
does
have
sound
like a
cool.
pen or something, and the bullet would go inside the pen and just.
I know they do exist. They do exist. I just always
Yeah.
think if you got to hold it, like first of all, it's hard to aim, so you kind of you got this pen gun, and then you got to
Yeah.
pull the trigger, and then you're just gonna smack yourself in the face with like that. So I don't know how that works. It just it doesn't seem like a
Sure.
well thought out weapon there, the
Nah.
pen
I
gun.
and I think it's only gonna work once, surely, once you've used
Yeah,
it. The pen's I mean, the pen's no good for let alone using as a pen or a gun ever again. Because yeah, surely it's not good for more than one use.
no, I would think not. I would not think not. So yeah, no, there was but hey, whatever his methods was, he was safe from flying with bullets. Not sure what the point of that was, but well done TSA. You've saved the world again.
And it's good that they've got border security that can detect these kind of things, because I reckon in New Zealand, if you were on an Air New Zealand flight and you had some bullets in your bag, I don't reckon you'd ever get found out.
No, I don't. I like, yeah.
Domestic flights, they could up their
I
game
think that
because it's
the best thing I have got done flying through, flew domestic with about 5 burgers from Ferg Burger in Queenstown because they're the best burgers in the world, and we
yeah.
just carried them on, smuggling burgers back home for people. The people found out that I was in Queenstown, and I got an order for a Ferg burger, so I had to go buy myself one, and then I think there was at least 4 other people that I had to fly back with these
Yeah,
burgers. So they were soggy and not so fresh when they got them there, but people they needed to have them. It was
the
hilarious.
novelty of it.
Yeah, it is great. They are such great burgers.
Yeah,
But
they are good.
yeah. No, to be fair, I think there's some pretty good burger places in Christchurch now that are kind of they're pretty close. What else have we got? Okay, so we've gone from crazy American news to crazy Moscow Times news. Okay, so Russian pop stars apologize on camera after naked party sparks conservative uproar. Conservative uproar. The Russians have conservatives? I don't know. They all seem like absolute mad bastards. But here we go. Let me see. Russian celebrities and pop stars have started issuing on-camera apologies for attending a scandalous, almost naked party that was widely condemned in Kremlin circles as unpatriotic and disrespectful of Russian soldiers. After initially dismissing the public outcry over footage of scantily clad celebrities and other guests at last week's private party at a Moscow nightclub, the party's organizer, blah, 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 apologized. Was it appropriate to film footage that went viral? Yes, it was 100% highly inappropriate. I'm so sorry that happened and could have been. Well, I like how she's just here. She's apologizing the point that it got filmed and went viral. Not that it happened really. So I don't know. We were going to do that anyway. I'm just sorry that it got filmed and we got caught and people liked it. I
I'm sorry we
apologize to
got
everyone.
caught.
yeah, exactly. That's the funniest thing about celebrity apologies. It's usually I'm sorry I got caught. So I thought I could get away with this, because I'm a celebrity.
They're in the
I just
spotlight.
thought it
They've
would
got to
be okay.
apologise. Yeah, if they didn't apologise, their career would be down the toilet.
Yeah. Ev- Evelina said she planned to donate part of the proceeds from the Almost Naked Party to charity. Oh, well, that's good. At least some charity. There's some good things
Well,
done in the world today.
if you didn't get caught, you wouldn't have to donate all your money. But I mean, it's good that
That's
they
true.
are. And what's the main
I'm
charity
pretty
at the
sure,
moment? Probably soldiers' families.
yeah, exactly. There's always some good charities to donate to, and I'm not knocking that at all. Though I'm pretty sure this just reminds me. I'm pretty sure, in right in the middle of COVID lockdowns, in the UK when everything was really locked down, and they were telling people to stay home, and I talked to some people in the UK. They were it was in some ways harder than well, no, it was harder than here in New Zealand because our borders were locked down. But for us, we could travel pretty freely. For them, they were literally stuck at home for hundreds of days on end.
Mm.
And but yeah, right in the middle of that, they had like some of their politicians had like just a big massive party and like all that type of thing going on. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh wow. To be fair, I think the Prime Minister did get sacked after that. Well, he got outed or whatever. Um
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, these things come out in the wash. How
hmm,
many of these parties go on, well, there's wars going on or COVID lockdowns going on? How many went
yeah.
on that didn't get exposed? I'm
Oh,
sure
there
there's been
was
plenty.
well, I think it happens
Probably like
all the
1 in
time.
10 get exposed. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. Well, there was like just a few weeks ago, there was like in the US Senate, which is, like the really serious politics thing. Like I think they have Congress, like, if you win your elections, you go to Congress. But then if you've been in Congress for a really long time, you go to the Senate, which is like the big boys club. It's like all the serious politicians. And like there was two staffers who snuck in there and performed a gay porno on the floor. And it like went viral and stuff like this. And it's just like, oh, okay, this is the serious people who are running the country. It's like, cool. That's that. I bet people in America feel great that that's what their tax dollars are going
Yeah,
to.
you can't judge though. Everyone's got their hobbies. It's not all motorsport and horse riding.
Yeah,
Some people like to ride their friends.
yeah, yeah. But like, what doing it, I can. I guess there's that naughty sex at work thing like that some people have. But like, doing it in a
You
government
brush everything
building,
off the
like,
desk and rip the clothes off, and
yes, it's a wow.
it's all so glamorous until you get caught and lose your job and your wife and your kids don't talk to
Yeah,
you
well,
anymore. And
there's that, but, like, these guys, like, filmed themselves and, like, showed people. It's like, what did you think was gonna happen? You know?
yeah, were they showing people when they were still under the influence of drugs or alcohol? Because surely you wouldn't do it the next morning if you were sober.
You would think not. You would like to think not. I'm really
It
not
would have
sure.
been
I don't know what was going through these guys'
some would
heads.
have had to have shared it on socials while they were still pissed or
Mm.
high.
Look, here's my own little funny conspiracy theory about this, alright? This whole thing was a psyop, a psychological operation, okay? Because if you went online, if you went onto Twitter, there were um, all these people sharing this gay Pornhub video and saying, "This what's going on in our Senate. This is what happens under Joe." The hilarious thing about this is Christian conservatives, like, who are sharing, like, all of a sudden they're sharing gay porn online, and it's like,
It's not
okay.
all of a sudden, it's not sounding very Christian now, is it?
Yeah, yeah. And it's like all of a sudden these people that were like, we shouldn't have this thing. We shouldn't expose this in public. And all of a sudden they're like, look at this gay porn. Look at it. Look at it. It's like,
Did it have
I
anything
think
to
you're right.
do with the cocaine being snuck into the White House? Because there's the
Well,
cocaine being stuck into the White House. There's gay sex in the White House. Sounds like they're having a whole lot of fun. I mean, I wouldn't want to be a part of it, but looks like they're enjoying themselves, aren't they?
I don't know about you. I'm planning on running for office now, mate. Once I get off this,
All right, all
Oh my
cameras
gosh.
off.
All right. Okay, so we mentioned Chris Rock earlier briefly, and I've got to come back to this because this is, who hasn't had a fantastic year? Will Smith. That's who hasn't had a fantastic year. Like, I don't
Calm to
know if
the
you've been
bitch.
following this, but every couple of months something comes up, and it's just like Will Smith getting kicked in the nuts. Like, Chris Rock, I think handled that like an absolute champ. He didn't say a word. He took it like a man, and then he came out and released his comedy special and absolutely destroyed him. Like, just hats off to you, sir. That
Yeah,
was a class act. I just loved
couldn't
every
have done it
second of
any
that.
better.
Will Smith deserved it. You know, absolutely. All right. Also, he took some pretty hard swipes at Jada Pinkett Smith. Okay, and she didn't take that well. Well, I don't really care. You know, I think she had a lot of that coming. Well, anyway,
She didn't
since
seem
then,
happy to begin with. She'd be a hard woman to please, I think.
oh yeah, and that's the other thing. Like she tried to claim after it, like come out months later and say that they've been separated for like 18 months, and like they didn't even consider it. It was like I'm pretty sure if you hadn't seemed upset, he wouldn't have gone and hit him. Like I think that was he thought he had to like, jump in and defend you. So
Yeah,
you
well,
know,
initially he laughed, and then she gave him a dirty look, and then he went
yes,
from, "Oh, that was
yes, there was,
funny," to
he was
"I've got to do
laughing,
something now."
and she like rolls her eyes, not happy with it. And then it's after that he jumps up, and it's like, don't try to say it, play innocent now, love.
These women hold a lot of control over their men, don't they?
Oh, sure seems like it. Okay, excuse me. Now on this subject, one of Will Smith's. Now I don't have the guy's name, but one of Will Smith's, a former ex-assistant, has come out, and this is just in the last like month or so. He did a podcast. It was a big expert, and he dropped a couple of bombshells. Now he did go after Jada pretty hard and blamed her for a lot of problems with Will Smith. Basically, he seems to think that she controls Will, and Will just isn't able to stand up for himself. Like basically, Will Smith is Jada's bitch, which, to be fair, a lot of people kind of have been thinking the same. But I, the way he described, because he had another wee bombshell in there, and I personally, I think that maybe he was just taking a swipe at Will Smith. Maybe this was just personal for him. Is my kind of gut feeling on this, but I'll have to. This is how he describes this, and it's just absolutely wild. Um, and to be honest, I can't help laughing every time I watch this. But oh, no, jump in. Here we go. Present screen. Come on, do your thing. Oh, can you hear me all right, bro? You seem to be. Are you cutting out there?
No, I can. Nah. It just started raining real heavy outside. I was just like, "What the hell's that?" But no, we're good.
All
We
right,
can
yeah.
continue.
And Nelson, what's going on? Okay,
Oh wow.
here we go. Let's. So this is once again. This is a former assistant of Will, like really close. Apparently, they were really good buddies. And one day on set, he can't find Will. He's hunting for Will on set, can't find him, and he goes and sees him in. I think he mentions another gentleman, a good friend of Will. He goes and checks his trailer, and this is how he describes what happens.
Mission. So I open the door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne and having anal sex with Will.
Let me process that for a second.
There was a couch, and Will was bent over on the couch, and Dwayne was standing up, killing him. Murder. There was murder in there.
Okay.
Wow. What do you say to that?
Oh, that's just amazing. Like,
Murdering him.
I don't know what to say to that. I like how the woman I like how the woman they're doing the podcast. She's just like, hold on.
I gotta
Like she does that little gain my composure. I don't know how to respond to this. I've got to gain my composure.
Fair enough.
But he talks about Will Smith getting absolutely burnt. He was straight up murdering him. So I think you're straight up murdering Will Smith right now, mate. I don't know whether to believe you. Maybe there's some parts of the story is true, but like you were his former assistant and former really good friend, and it's like I don't know, mate. Like if you're my best
He's
mate,
got to have a motive,
and you're going to
why
say things like
he's
this about.
unleashed that story. Like, there's got to be a motive to it.
Yes, absolutely. Like, don't tell people. It's like you didn't. Did you have to say he was straight up murdering him? It's like, oh,
He was killing him.
it was funny. Yeah, and like he did say a whole lot about Jada, and then like blamed her for a lot of Will's problems. Because I saw like a comment afterwards, and Jada was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna sue." And I was like, "Oh, why was you? You seem to be saying things that had some pretty brutal things about Will." But then yeah, he did go pretty hard after Jada as well. So it was absolutely wild. Hey man, I'm gonna have to finish this really quickly because I actually need to go to the toilet. But,
Yeah, I've got to get to bed too. I've got to fly out early in the morning.
All right, man. Have a good one. Thank you all for watching. Please like, share, and comment. It was great to have you on board. We will be back next year. Thank you again, guys. See you along.